Most of you guys probably have an income goal that you want to hit in your Etsy business, your handmade business, your website, whatever side hustle you're currently doing. And I know a lot of people want to hit that 100 grand, that six-figure mark. That's a huge milestone to hit. So I went back and looked at my business and I broke everything out into 13 steps to follow, things that I've done that got me to that 100 grand, that six-figure mark. And that's what I want to give you guys today. Let's jump in and talk about these 13 steps to get you to the 100 grand mark. All right, guys, what is going on? LL here, your humble host and guide, bringing you everything handmade, Etsy, and everything in between. Help you guys with your business. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking the time to check in and let me come at you with some hopefully some gold nuggets to grow your business. And today's kind of an episode that I've been thinking about doing for a while. I try to stay clear of the money episodes, that type of stuff, because it just I can't guarantee that these things will get you to where you want to be, and everyone's different. But I know for a fact that if you are taking the time to implement this stuff, you're serious about your business, and you're serious about getting where you want to be. This stuff will help you get there. So I put together 13 simple steps that I've followed that got me to the 100 grand mark. And mind you, I say simple as in they are simple to do, but they are not easy to accomplish. Most people will never do all of these things. Most people will never try all of these things. But I can tell you, and hopefully you guys will take this stuff to heart and you will implement it in your business. And that's the ultimate goal of this podcast, and the goal that I have for you as well, that you can kind of take this stuff and run with it. So, mind you, I say 100 grand, and like I said before, I get a little nervous when I mention that figure because I don't want to turn you guys off, because most of you are probably like, yeah, right, I'm never going to get there. And immediately you think that this isn't for you because you can't envision yourself getting there. You can't imagine it. And I never could either. And I'm not talking about 100 grand a year or in your first year. This is stuff that takes years. When applied correctly, it can get you to that mark. It can get you to that number. But you gotta chip away at this stuff. You gotta take action in your business, and you gotta follow these steps in the order that I'm telling you, or pretty close. I put this stuff in chronological order, so I'm not trying to jumble everything up all over the place and confuse you. But I'm gonna go through these 13 steps, and this stuff is, like I said, the exact steps that I've followed in my business to get me to consecutive 100 grand years in my business. And it took a couple of years for me to get there. But once you get there, once you're at the top, then it becomes a lot easier. But you got to push that boulder up the mountain to start. So let's dive in. The first one that I'm going to talk about, and this is number one, and this is kind of where you're at early on in your journey, or something that you may need to recalibrate, is you must have a niche. All right. The old adage, the old saying, the riches are in the niches. Well, you have to have a niche to be able to know where your business is. You need to know what your business represents, know where you're going to go in the future. A lot of people know they want to start a business, they want to start a handmade business, but they don't have a niche. They don't have a targeted niche. You're trying to do everything under the sun, and you can't do that. You have to have a niche. A lot of times, you even have to niche down below your original niche to be able to build your product line, to be able to market correctly and target the right audience. So you have to think about your niche, have a targeted focus. You can't open a shop and just try to sell 100 different things in 100 different niches. It's usually not going to work. Not saying that that can't work, but that's going to be really hard for you to build a business on that if you don't have a clear, solid niche that you are 100% in, 100% focused on. So if you're not sure, like if you right now you're thinking if I asked you what your niche is and you don't know, and you've been selling for a while, you got to recalibrate that. You need to know your niche and what you're focused on, so that you can continue to build your business. Number two is you must know your avatar. So this is something I've talked about before. Basically, an avatar is your targeted audience. Who are your people? Who's your tribe? Who's going to be buying from you? What specific person is buying from you? You need to know that so that you can market to them correctly, whether it be with keywords, whether it be with the messaging that you're sending out, that you're describing stuff with. If you don't know your avatar, if you don't know if your primary market's male or female, around how much, what age group they're in, what do they like, what do they dislike, what are their interests, you're going to have some problems when it comes to not only marketing your current stuff, but releasing future stuff, bringing future stuff to market because you don't know who your audience is. You don't know if this person's going to like it or not because you don't know your audience. So you need to know your avatar to be able to market effectively, bring products to market that will sell, and guide your business for the future. So those are the first two. Number three is you must have a brand that aligns with your niche and avatar. This may seem like common sense, but a lot of people will have a brand. And when I talk about brand, I'm talking about your business name, your logo, your color scheme. That stuff should all tie together. If your brand doesn't align with your target audience and your niche, you're going to have a lot of confusion there. So you can't have a brand that doesn't represent who's going to be buying from you. It doesn't represent the things that you're selling just because it's not going to make sense. And then when people see your brand, they're not going to know what you offered. They're not going to be attracted to it. They're not going to, they're not going to be committed to you because they just have no idea what your brand is, what it represents. So make sure you're thinking through that. And I put that number three because a lot of times you're not really sure your business name, your logo. You're not going to be sure of that until you have your niche and your target audience first, and then you can really hammer down your business name and your logo. A lot of people do their business name, their logo first, and they get a little bit backwards, and they're really not sure. They try to fit their niche and their avatar into their business name, into their logo, and they try to force it when it's not natural. It needs to be thought about in that way for it to really make sense, and for you to develop a solid plan for your business as a whole. All right, so now that we chipped away at those first three, and they really go together, they really will kind of set the tone for your business and as you grow. Number four is kind of the next step, and this is you must have a vision for where your brand is going. A lot of people, when they just start out, you can't do everything at once. You can't bring all the products to market. You can't bring all the accessories to market. You can't do it all at once, but you should have a plan for that stuff in the future. What do you see? How do you see the evolution of your business in a year, 3 years, 5 years? How would you like to expand? What would you like to bring to your audience? What would you like to offer? What problems would you like to solve with the products that you're bringing to market? Because every product solves a problem, whether it may seem trivial or not. You sell a shirt, it solves a problem of someone doesn't have a shirt with a cat on it and they love cats. That's a problem. I know it seems trivial. Some products solve actual, real problems, but all products solve some type of product, fill some type of gap, fill some type of void. Um, so you have to think about the vision of your company, and what you're going to be doing in the future, but also have a clear vision of your brand itself, because your brand is a living, breathing thing. It's not just a name. It's not just a logo. Usually, it's an extension of yourself. Your belief system, your likes, dislikes, that type of stuff. So your brand, in a nutshell, represents your audience, your niche, yourself, and the future that the future things that you'll do in your brand also represents those things. So think about it that way. Have a vision. You may not know your exact vision now, and that's fine, but be thinking about that. Put that in your back of your mind so that you can always be forward thinking, always be thinking about the future and what types of things that you want to do with your company. And it'll also help you think about your business as a real business, not just a hobby. If you start thinking about it more than a hobby, treating it like a business, then it will start to grow like a business. So kind of shift your mindset that way. And that brings us to the next step, which is number 5, and it's build your audience. The sooner you start building an audience, the more profit and revenue you'll be able to generate in your business. And that's your audience. As your audience grows, your revenue should grow too. And what I mean by building an audience is when you set up your business, you open the doors to your business, you should start with your marketing plan, building your audience through social media, and other channels such as email, YouTube, different things like that you can do to start building an audience that you can market to down the road. And it's going to be slow going at first. No one's going to like your stuff. You're not going to get any friends. You're not going to get any likes. You're not going to get any follows at first. But as you continue to grow your business, that stuff will come. You'll be able to start building your audience so that you can market to them. And you're going to regret not starting it sooner than later, because the sooner you start, the more people that you'll have down the road. You'll be surprised at how well that will grow, and that's just going to add revenue to your business. That's another avenue for you to generate revenue. Do you have to have social media? Do you have to have an email list? Do you have to have those things? No, you don't have to. You can still grow your business, but it's just going to add those layers of revenue. If you want to get to the 6-figure mark, you're going to need to build your audience. You're going to have those other people, those other groups to be able to market to be able to make additional sales to get you guys to the next level. So those things are not that hard to set up, but it's important to do so. And then with it comes obviously your marketing plan, reaching out to them with consistent content, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to get into that today. But that is step number 1 of building an audience, is setting that stuff up. Figure out where you want to market to and which platforms you want to use for marketing. The next step that I have for you guys is number 6, and it is you must learn to master SEO, search engine optimization. If you want to do online sales, you want to grow your business online, you have to understand SEO and be able to implement it in your business so that you can grow, so that you can make sales. And a lot of what I talked about earlier with knowing your avatar, knowing your niche, knowing your brand vision, that stuff will only help you with your SEO, because that stuff will guide you when it comes to keywords, messaging, the things that you say, the keywords that you put on your listings. You must learn to master SEO and be able to learn your niche, and that will help you master your niche's SEO, so you can target to them better, so you can market to them better. And understanding, every platform is different. Whether you have a website, whether you have Etsy, eBay, SEO is different for all those platforms. It works differently. There are some of the same types of elements, but with Etsy specifically, there's a lot of different factors, a lot of different variables when it comes to SEO. So you have to learn that stuff over time, do a lot of testing, a lot of implementation in your shop, and to see what works, what doesn't work. But the better you get, the better you start to understand, what works, what doesn't work, how SEO works, your audience, you will be better at improving your SEO and making things work for you more. So you're not going to come out of the gate knowing everything. I still don't know everything. The things are always changing, but you can have a solid foundation, which will help guide your business and will help you be more successful. And I do have a free guide for you guys that I wrote, which is Etsy SEO Revealed. I want to make sure to give that to you. If you don't have it, you can download it at handmadeandbeyond.com/Etsy SEO Success. It breaks down everything that goes into Etsy SEO specifically, and a lot of strategies you guys can implement in your business to be able to know and understand SEO better, specifically with Etsy, and be able to perform better over time. So make sure you guys go there and download that guide. I wanted to make sure to at least talk about that, because it's a really great resource for brand new sellers and intermediate sellers to get a better handle on SEO. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about it in this step, because it is super helpful, and I could spend hours and hours and hours talking about SEO. But just go download the guide to help you guys out and be able to change your SEO game for sure. All right, number 7 is release product lines, not random products. So think about your business And if you know your avatar, your niche, your brand, you should be able to bring product lines to market instead of just random products that maybe don't fit your niche, your brand. So usually you can create multiple products that are the same subject matter, similar subject matter, with different variations, different styles, different sizes, things like that. But if you're thinking about when you release products, releasing product lines, it'll give you a chunk of listings each time, but it's also going to give you a chunk of related listings that have similar keywords, similar marketing, and that will help the algorithm be able to tune into what you're doing and realize that you're a specialty shop in that area, in that subject matter, in that niche, and it'll all start to tie together. Plus, you're going to learn a lot about what your audience wants, likes, dislikes. So just think about it that way. Try to release product lines instead of just random one-off products, because it will help you. And what I mean by a product line too, to kind of dive into it, is that you're still going to be releasing individual listings. You should have a group of listings that are a product line that kind of tie together in some way. So maybe you're releasing, maybe your niche is candles. So then maybe you do a product line of wedding candles or a product line of Christmas candles. You know, one smells like a tree, one smells um, like with other Christmas smells. Obviously, it's not my niche, but you know, you release a different types of products that kind of coincide, and then the algorithm is going to look at that and be like, okay, this person sells a bulk of Christmas candles. If someone's looking for a Christmas candle, I should probably send them there. Plus, it'll help your business grow because you're going to have more listings in general. So think about it that way. When I started to think about my business that way, it really helped me grow leaps and bounds. And most people just think about doing like one-off products, which can really not, you know, if you're doing one-off products that don't fit on your in your niche or fit your avatar, then that's really not going to help you either. So kind of think about it that way. It really started to help my business when I thought about it that way. All right, that brings us to number 8. The eighth step is be consistent with working on your shop, and like I just mentioned in step 7, bring products to market. So the more active you are working on your shop, not only are you going to understand the inner workings of Etsy or your website better, uh, but you're going to be, if you're actively working and being consistent with working on your shop, you're going to grow organically just by nature, because you're doing things, changing SEO, you're updating your pictures, you're adding listings, you're making change, you're looking at stats, you're looking at different things like that. So you're going to get a better understanding, but you're taking action in your business consistently. The worst thing that people do is they set it and forget it. They open it, they put up 10 products, and they let it sit for months and months and months. That's no bueno. That's not going to help your business grow. You're probably never ever going to get any momentum if you do that. You have to be in there on a routine basis. I can't say routine basis apparently, but you have to be in there consistently working on your stuff to be able to grow your business. It's just like if just like goes back to me talking about it, treating your business like a hobby versus a real business. If you're treating it like a real business, you're going to be working on it almost daily. If you're treating it like a hobby, you're not working on it hardly at all. So how do you want your business to be a hobby, or do you want your business to be a business? So think about it that way. Be consistent, taking action, working on your business. All right, that the next one that I want to talk about is number 9, and that is do market research. So this can really fit in anywhere, but you guys have to be consistently doing market research, whether it be SEO, different keywords, looking at your audience. Your audience may change and evolve over time. You can look at different analytics. If you're plugged into social media, you can look at your audience analytics that way through Facebook, Instagram. Just look and learn your audience, learn SEO, consistently do research on trends, do research on new things your customers want. That will help grow your business consistently over time. If you're paying attention to those things and you're taking the time to do that consistent research. So set a plan, make sure you're doing that stuff. because you're going to use that information to your advantage to take action on to in return grow your business, and you're going to understand your business better, your audience better, what they want. You're going to understand targeting and different strategies to do in the future with your business if you understand what's going on. So take the time to continually do research and dive into your business. All right, so number 10 is another big one, and this one is invest in your business. Most people, they start a business and are not really ready to start a business, or not really thinking about it from a business perspective, and they just want to take from that business. They just want to get some sales and take that money and put it in their pocket, put it, take that money and go buy something, take that money and do other things with it. The last thing that they think about doing is taking some of that money, investing it back in their business. That's what all major companies do. They don't just take the money and run, they invest back in their business. They invest in equipment, they invest in training, they invest in tools. The way that you have to think about it is you want to take a portion of that money and you want to invest back in your business with things that save you time, things that make you more efficient, things that make you more money. So whatever that may be, whether it's knowledge, a lot of people don't take the time to invest in learning from other people that have been there, that have done it. A lot of people don't take the time to invest in equipment that'll make them more efficient, tools that'll make them more efficient, tools that'll help them understand their business better. So within reason, but start small. But as you grow, continue to invest some portion of that money back in your business, and it'll help you grow. It'll help you expand. It'll help you move faster. So you're not just spinning your wheels. We all want to move faster. So invest in your business. Don't just take. All right. So the next one, number 11, is increase revenue. And you're like, okay, yeah, of course, we all want to increase revenue, but just saying increase revenue is not going to increase revenue. Okay, what I'm specifically talking about with this step, there's a couple of ways that you can increase revenue that are practical, that are things that you can do that are tangible. More sales, and this is how you're going to get more sales, is doing the things that I've already talked about in the other previous steps. All that stuff put together will get you more sales if you're doing it like I said. All right. The next thing is raise prices. A lot of people price themselves too low. It cheapens the product, it cheapens their brand. It may be something that you need to consider. The next one is release higher ticket items. A lot of people have items that are all the same price or lower price within your niche, within your market. Can you put out the higher ticket audience, which will attract higher ticket buyers? A lot of people don't sell higher ticket items because they're like, well, who will buy this? Who will spend this money? People, the right audience will. So add higher ticket items to your repertoire, to your inventory. Think about your brand, your target audience, your niche. What can you do that's 4 times, 5 times, 6 times the amount of what you normally sell? Think outside the box, but that is a great way to increase revenue. Uh, the next obvious one, or maybe not obvious one, but the next one I want to talk about is increase the number of sales channels that you have. So this may be something that you want to do, probably not early on, but as your business starts to grow, you want to increase revenue. Is there any other sales channels that you can add online? Is there other online marketplaces? But think about not online. Think about in person markets, consignment, different businesses that may want to do your products, have your products. There's a lot of different ways to increase revenue. Those are some of the top ways. In the Handmade and Beyond community, I talk about more, break those out a little bit more specifically. But there's a lot of different ways that you can increase revenue. You just have to go out and do the things, and then even if it's a couple $100, that may turn into a couple $1,000, and those different channels will certainly add revenue. So you got to put more lines in the water sometimes to be able to get to that 6-figure mark and help feed your business. But it shouldn't distract your business. So there is a difference, and that's why you probably shouldn't do those things early on. You need to focus on that one sales channel first. Number 12 is have a specific weekly plan that targets specific actions that are focused on 3 areas: marketing, sales, and growth. everything you do in your business should be focused on those three areas outside of, making the products and the obvious stuff. But having that weekly plan, those consistent things that you do in those buckets will help your business grow. The thing that I see most common with business owners is they have no plan, no structure. You get a 9 to 5 job, you have a very specific structure. A lot of times when you step away from that and you do your business full time or you do it on the side, you're not sure what to do. You're not sure what to focus on. You're kind of all over the place. Sit down, make that weekly plan. So you're doing those things in specific time increments on specific days that focus on those buckets. If you're focused on marketing, sales, and growth, you will improve. Your business will make more money, and you will get to that six-figure mark. But you have to sit down, write that plan out, and do those things consistently each and every week, and not be all over the place, run around like a chicken with your head cut off. So that structure will really help you. You do have, running your own business, you have a huge freedom over your time, but that doesn't mean that you still shouldn't have structure in your business. So sit down, write that plan. It will definitely help you guys out. The last and final one, number 13, this one may seem a little cliche, but never give up. You never give up in your business. You can't fail if you never give up. So Warren Buffett, who I'm a big fan of, obviously he's a super rich dude, but he doesn't act rich, which is really cool. He says that, and one of the famous things that he says, don't quote me on this, but it's loosely what he says, is the stock market is an amazing machine. It transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient. So most of the people, they start trading, they lose money, they sell, and then that's it. And then the people that didn't sell, as that stock comes back, they'll make the money. Well, I truly believe businesses work the same way. Building a business works in a very similar fashion. Successful businesses are born from those who were patient, who stayed the course, while the other wannabe successful business owners stopped, gave up, closed their businesses because they weren't making any money and they weren't doing anything in their business. So most of the successful business owners, the successful businesses that made it past the first couple of years, what's the common denominator? They never gave up. They probably weren't that successful when they first started out. You look at Etsy shops. Most of those people weren't successful in the first year of business, the first couple of years of business. But think about all the people that quit between those couple of years and that person stayed. All the other people in the same niche quit, stopped their businesses, shut them down because they weren't making any sales. So the key is you have to keep moving forward. You'll continually learn about your business, learn what to do, learn what not to do, but you'll never learn that stuff if you're not staying in the game. If your head's not in the game, you're not staying in your business. Because that stuff doesn't come with you overnight. You need that experience. You need that journey so you know what to do next. It will teach you what to do next. But if you give up before then, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to make the necessary changes. And obviously, if you gave up, your business isn't going to grow and thrive. So think about it that way. But those are the 13 simple but not easy ways to get to six figures in your business. If you're doing those things consistently, if you're thinking about your business that way, I am super, super confident that you will get there in due time, but it's not going to be overnight. It's probably going to take a few years realistically, but you can take steps to get there over time if you're focused and you have that right mindset and you're focused on those things consistently. That's all I got for today. Make sure you guys download the SEO guide. If you don't already have it, you can go to handmadeandbeyond.com/Etsy SEO success. So you can hammer out number 6, master the SEO part, which is a huge part of success on Etsy specifically. But that is all. Hopefully that helps you guys out. I'm looking forward to seeing the progress that you guys make in your businesses this year and years to come. I'll be back very soon with another awesome episode for you guys. Stay well, stay healthy. Talk to you guys soon.